Welcome back to the IPA and hashtag She's IPA and Policing TV. This episode number 3, and I speaking today with Samantha Alexander from the Bedfordshire Police in UK, and how she joined the police, how she became engaged in women of colour in policing. But we will move on. We are talking about women in policing and women of colour in policing. So where does IPA fit into this for you, Samantha?
Well, I became an IPA member just before COVID. I was speaking to somebody and I'd never heard of the IPA. And I was really, really curious. I suppose that's the CQ and the nosy woman in me. But I was really curious to know, what is this and why haven't I heard about it? And very quickly I was asked if I would become the secretary for Bedfordshire's IPA. And it was an honour. Well, they asked me
Yes.
to be the chair, but I thought that was a bit too much. But I was happy to be the secretary because I like reaching out to people, and it would give me an opportunity to not only meet the new people coming in, engage with the existing members, and then share the message. And I just could not believe the amount of work that this tiny free, symbol organisation was doing. I was just blown away. And very quickly, I started to tell people about the IPA, and it started to mirror, the things that we were saying within WOSIP. So looking at disadvantage, eliminating barriers that we face, women and men, different barriers, and also one of the opportunities which I thought was amazing was to be allowed to join the webinars. So I heard, I attended lots of webinars and met lots of officers from around the world. The opportunity to go to other webinars and to go to actually face-to-face training. And then COVID came and it sort of, paused things for a little while, but that didn't stop the work going on behind. And encouraging women where I think that the IPA can support even WOSIP is the opportunity for training. It's the opportunity to network, across the world. It's almost like a golden goose that nobody knows it exists, but yeah, people do know about the IPA. So, working with Chris and Andy and then getting to meet the wonderful Karen, who is just, she's just formidable. She's just a driver. I see her like Formula One, and loving that, the fact that she's got that passion. And I've thought about ways in which, and when they approached us around working on She's IPA, it was a no-brainer because we have so many women who are looking, who are hungry for something, and this is an area that they can step into, be trained in other areas, visit other countries, and look at their policing system and work together to make a difference. And I've spoken to a couple of people from different forces around the world, and we speak about the same issue that we're facing in terms of racism and misogyny and the disparity, and the word that keeps coming out is exhausted. It's exhausting, to have to keep fighting this battle. But I see the work that IPA is doing, and people who know me, I don't put myself to anything that I don't think is authentic. I think we've been, like you said, maybe 15 years, we've been here too long to be hearing the same narrative. And I see that the IPA is driving change. And with She's IPA, it's just, it's opening doors to women, the opportunities to women and men to make that change. We need male allyship. We
Yes.
do need that. And we need upstanders who are prepared to stand up when the going gets tough and speak out against the things that aren't right. And not because it's an easy life or because it's an agenda on Black History, Black History Month or an Awareness Day. We have people who are, as I said before, who have multiple protected characteristics. Faith, for instance, seeing the work that IPA does, with women of faith or different cultural heritage. And it's about sharing that and exposing more women. And WOSIP, we're in a position where we, as a movement, reach many people, and it's an honour to walk alongside the IPA. She's IPA. That message is so powerful. You are IPA. You take ownership of it. It's wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, because when you looked at IPA today, it's about 15% that are women that are female members, and it was a drop international. So that was the background to why hashtag She's IPA started. But still, we are members of one big organization. So it's not that we shall take it over. It's to just highlight that there are needs to also highlight women in it. But if you should meet a group of people, men and women, and you find out that, oh, they are not IPA members, and they would be able to sign the application form to become members, what would you tell them? How would you motivate them to fill in the application form?
Oh well, I'm always on the IPA camp, and I always talk about the work that you do. I think it's really important for people to know the work that the IPA does. It's not just about networking, but it's about helping officers and staff, ex police as well. So somewhere
Mm,
for people to go when they're nearing that end of their career. You
mm,
know that there's somewhere that they can still be a part of and still
mm,
influence and make change. And I'm often saying to people, you know, this is an area that can develop your career. You know, you can get expertise, you know, talking about gimbal and, you know, different areas, but also there's a plethora of opportunities. And I was having a conversation recently about the Arthur Troop, you know,
mm,
award. And somebody was saying, well, how do I go about it? And just talking to them just generally about
mm,
what Arthur Troop means and, you know, the work that he did and why there's a legacy.
mm,
But, you know, when people join IPA, it's not about being stagnant. It's not just a membership. It's like a movement in itself. You
mm,
know, it's about that continuous shaping and shifting, and you know, ingratiating yourself in all different environments. And that's what I say to people. It's an opportunity to meet people all around the world,
mm,
and
mm,
also, you know, with the wonderful hosting book, visiting around the world as well, and supporting people who, you know, come over from different countries and they want to
mm,
see Britain, for instance, and you know, reaching out, helping young people as well. So we
mm.
have, you know, cadets in policing. We've got the young WOSIP influencers, you know, marrying them up with pen pals, just having those conversations. And we've seen people join. I mean, that's how Sandra joined the IPA. I mean, I
Yeah.
was going on and on and on about the wonderful IPA, and she was like, "Oh my goodness, I'm just going to join up." And I know she did it just to, you know, quieten me down. But actually, she said it's the best, one of the best things she's done. And then
Yes.
here we
Yeah.
are today.
And Sandra is Sandra Smith that I interviewed in another of the episodes we have had on hashtag She's IPA and IPA Insight. So you can listen to Sandra when she tell how Samantha actually not force her into it, but persuade her to sign
Yeah.
as a member of IPA. And I think we need those people that also, as you do, you tell a story around it. But when you then got all these members, what would be a good moment, a good memory, sorry, that you have from anything that is within IPA? What would be a good memory for you?
I think one of the best memories I had was attending a session about the different bombs and the different things that took. It was a forensic webinar,
Yeah.
and I thought, oh, I'm not going to join. You know, I thought it would just be a couple of people online, you know, from our local IPA. And I got on the call and I just could not believe how many countries I was engaging with and speaking to. And I remember speaking to someone in Nigeria and then someone in, and I was just blown away. And it was as though we were in the same space together.
Mm,
It was something that I'd not experienced before, and the conversation was rich. And I remember saying after, I have to tell people about this.
yes.
And on the next day, I like sent out, I can't even remember how many, like invites to all of my contacts in work and all, you know, other forces. And sadly for us, a lot of people are joining and we encouraging them, and then they join their local IPA. So you know,
Yes.
but you know what? It doesn't stop the work being done. But that's a lasting legacy. That memory will always stay with me, and it made me think. You know, it looks and it feels as though the IPA is only there, but every time I engage, it just broadens, it gets bigger. And I say to people, I don't think it'll be a waste of your money if you join the IPA. The membership is so low level. It's compared to other memberships, is amazing. And for the return of what they're getting,
Yeah.
it is well worth the investment.
Yeah. Well, it's a minor fee to receive the membership, but when you look behind that membership card, it's so much of opportunities, and you are the one that make your choices. You make the selection of what you would like to do, and you've been speaking very highly about the professional pillar of IPA that deliver training to us on a base that everyone can join. You don't need to join just because this is your topic
Mm,
in work or your hobby in your private time, because you can start to learn about whatever it is within policing or an hobby that you only heard about, and then you will meet people that will tell you more details around it, and you will have a much wider understanding of many different countries as well, because
mm,
within the IPA we've got nearly 100 countries that where you can find IPA members. So I can understand your surprise being at that webinar, and could see so many different countries joining in, and people are happy to chat with you, and people are happy because you're an IPA member, and it's opened more doors than if you just walk into a police station and tell you're a police officer,
mm.
because there will be not only the professional exchange, it will also be a ticket to friendship. And I think that's one of the marvelous things.
That's the beautiful thing as well. It's the friendship side, because I've
Yeah.
made so many friends in different countries that
Mm.
you can go away and meet people, but this is something different, and also that people contact you and say, I'm doing this, or we're
Mm.
having this seminar. Would you like to, So it builds on that. Or if you're going to
Yeah.
go away and you'd like to just get in touch with some of those
Mm.
people if you're going to be going to those countries.
Yeah.
It's really good, and I have to give a shout out to Bedfordshire's chair Andy Marshall and Slav, who's our treasurer. They work so hard. They
Mm.
are continuously campaigning. We have a system within our police force called Viva. It's like it used to be called Yammer, and you can pop things on, and they're continuously driving. The excellent work of IPA and the opportunities. Loads of people signed up for to drive the ambulances. When the IPA was doing that, take the ambulances across Africa, and it was
Yes.
amazing. The amount of queries that we had about in this society. What it's like that, as I said, the golden goose. Why haven't we not heard about this? So the more that we have this conversation, the She's IPA work, where a lot of women are now saying, didn't know it was a thing. Like so excited, and we're now eager to see who's going to pop up next, who's going to come up next, and what country are they from, and it's wonderful.
Yeah. Thank you. When women come together, and they also can inspire each other, and they can also make women to be included. There is a sense of belonging and empowerment, and we are happy to know that Samantha Alexander is one of those women that contribute to a more inclusive world for women and for men through women of color in policing, and with her membership in IPA and her function as regional secretary. Today, I believe it's important that we all talk about equal opportunities. When we join our work, we join in at the workplace, an NGO, or a group of friends, we should always feel that we belong. I think this is extremely important for every one of us. Today, we have heard about how we together can make our forces a better place for women of color, and how IPA can also be another platform of free time to have a joyful time together. Samantha, I would like to say big thank you to you for giving this interview to hashtag She's IPA and Policing TV. And to the audience, our watchers and listeners, I would like to say welcome back to hashtag She's IPA, the interview series that we are delivering this year to empower women. And if you would like to join any of the webinars that Samantha mention, you visit our website, that is www.ibset-gimborn.de. That's our flagship of education. There are webinars and also seminars in person if you would like to do that. This is a collaboration between International Police Association and Policing TV. And finally, I would like to highlight the Policing Insight to our audience, and the www.policinginsight.com, where you can find a lot of interesting articles of policing today worldwide, and you can also see the interviews that we deliver through Policing TV and IPA Insight. Thank you all for joining today, and I will see you in the future. #SheIsIPA. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.